All right, let's implement counting sort. The first step here is to build our counts array. So let's declare an integer array called count. We set it to a new int array. Now, what should be the size of this array? Well, that depends on the maximum value in our input array. So here, the sort method should take a parameter called max. In order for us to use the counting sort, we should pass the maximum value to this method, right? Now, let's say maximum is 5. In our counts array, we should have elements 0 to 5. So we should have 6 elements. So whatever max is, we take it and add 1 to it, okay? Now we need to initialize this array. So we iterate over our input array. For each item in this array, we use this item as an index in the counts array. So we go to count of item. Whatever value we have there, we increment it, okay? So we have built our counts array. Now we need to iterate over the counts array and refill our input array in a sorted manner. So we need a for loop for I. We set it to 0. As long as it's less than count.length, we increment it. Now let's say we go to count of I, and here we have a 3. That means the next 3 elements in the input array should be 3s. So here we need another for loop for j. We set it to 0. As long as it's less than count of I, we increment it. Now we need another variable as an indexer for the input array. Let's call that k. When we have multiple loops, it's okay to use variables like I, j, and k. Now, over here, we go to array of k and set it to I. And of course, every time we store a value in our input array, we should increment k. So this is how we implement counting sort. Now let's test our implementation. So in the main class, let's add a bunch of numbers here, 5, 1, 7, 2, 6, and 4. And here we use counting sort. When calling the sort method, we should pass the maximum value, which is 7. Now let's see what happens. So our array is sorted successfully. Beautiful. What if you have 2 items in this array? Still works. What if you have duplicates? No problem. What if you have a single item? Totally fine. And finally, what if you have an empty array? Perfect. So we're done with this implementation. Next, we're going to talk about bucket sort.